When West Virginians start to go to the polls in just a few days, they'll have to make a decision on whether or not they want to more permanently prohibit medically assisted suicide by putting it in the state constitution. It's called Amendment 1, and Anna Saunders is live in the studio now to break it down for us further. Anna?
Anthony, medically assisted suicide, which is typically the practice of a doctor giving a lethal prescription to a terminal or suffering patient, is already illegal in West Virginia. But advocates of this amendment say adding it to the Constitution would make it harder for it to ever be legalized. Those planning to vote against say this has no place in the Constitution. Despite medically assisted suicide already being illegal in West Virginia, Delegate Pat McGeehan, one of the lawmakers who spearheaded the resolution to get it on the ballot, says with it already legal in 9 states in the country, it needs to go a step further.
It's important to place this protection in our state constitution to ensure that medically assisted suicide is harder to legalize going forward into the future in the long run. Because right now, this issue is quite frankly storming across the Western world.
While it's garnering support from groups like the West Virginia Republican Party, the Catholic Diocese of Charleston-Wheeling, and West Virginians for Life because it will make it harder to change in the future, this is exactly why other groups like the ACLU and the West Virginia Citizens Action Group are against it. They say the Constitution is designed to protect rights from the government. They feel this does the opposite.
There's already a statutory prohibition. It's already illegal, and they're just trying to enshrine a prohibition into the state constitution that will ultimately make it harder for legislatures down the line to bend to the will of the people.
There is also concern from the two groups about the language itself. On the ballot, it will just ask if you are for or against protecting West Virginians from medically assisted suicide. The amendment in its entirety, which is not on the ballot, says that no person, physician, or healthcare provider in the state shall participate in the practice of medically assisted suicide, euthanasia, or mercy killing of a person. It goes on to say that nothing will prohibit hospice care or prescribing medication for pain relief or comfort, and it also won't prohibit taking someone off of life support or stopping life-sustaining treatment. And in the final sentence, it says it also does not prevent the state from providing capital punishment, something that was banned in the 60s in West Virginia.
It has a little proviso at the end of this amendment that protects the state's right to reinstate the death penalty. So what is this all about? This whole thing raises a whole lot more questions than it answers.
McGeehan says it's broadly worded on the ballot for the ease of the voters and says that it's written with the intention to keep everything as is when it comes to end-of-life care.
Whether it's palliative care, whether it's end-of-life care, whether it's life-sustaining treatment, nothing changes whatsoever. This just places a prohibition against medically assisted suicide, strictly speaking, in the state constitution.
Now, this question will appear on all West Virginia ballots in all counties. Early voting will begin on Wednesday and last until November 2nd. Election day is November 5th. Live in the studio, Anna Saunders, Eyewitness News.